Hey guys, welcome to the video. So today I'm going to be doing sort of a more storytime commentary style video. I don't know, I'm just going to tell you the story of how I broke my wrist one time. It's pretty stupid, but also pretty funny. Yeah, I hope you enjoy. Let's get into it. Okay, so this story takes place probably about 4 years ago, I want to say. I was on my way home from a walk with my family, and some family friends were having a party at the time, like a leavers party, because they were going away to like a different country for a long time. And I insisted on going to this party. I don't know why. I think because my friends were there and I wanted to see them. But my parents were like, no, we're kind of tired. Let's not go to the party. And I was like, no. I wasn't having it. I was like, no, we have to go to this party, okay? And eventually my parents gave in. They were like, okay, fine. Have it your way. We'll go to the party. And I was like, good. Sorry, I just had to kill him there. So you get to the party and everyone's joking around, having kind of a great time. And it was all good, but I was kind of bored. So I like turn and look at my friends and I'm like, hey, I'm kind of bored. What should we do? And they were like, let's play Manhunt. Now, if you don't know what Manhunt is, it's kind of a combination of hide and seek and eat. Hide and seek and eat? Wow, I really struggled to word there. Hide and seek and eat. So you have about a minute to hide. And then... yeah, someone comes and tries to find you. I'm probably going to die here. Hold on. Whoa, that was like I was hacking. He still killed me. You have about a minute to hide, and then someone tries and comes and finds you. And when they quote-unquote find you, they have to touch you and say manhunt. If they find you, if they catch you, then you join the hunters team. So you're trying to find people that are hiding as well. And eventually it's like one person left, blah, 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 and they're the winner. But... that's besides the point. I was in this OG hiding spot. I was never going to be caught, man. I was in a tree. No one ever looks in a tree when you're playing like hide and seek or manhunt. I felt pretty safe. And my friend, I saw them. They were like walking and they stopped like right underneath me. And at that moment I was like, shoot. I kind of need to sneeze. I was like, I can't sneeze. They'll hear me and I'll die. And that'll be the end of the game. So I like tried to hold it in for as long as possible, and eventually I was like, bro, I really need to sneeze. So I kind of tried to sneeze into like my sleeve to try and stifle it somewhat. I don't know how effective that was. Actually, I do know how effective that was. It was not effective. It was not effective at all, because he immediately heard me and looked up and was like, oh, look, you're in the tree. And he started climbing up the tree, and I was like, shoot, I need to get out of this tree. I need to go. I need to leave. So I sort of like hung from the branch I was on. I was pretty high up, and then I dropped and I just ran. I just sprinted out of there. I was like, bro, I need to leave. As I'm running and he's chasing behind me, I see that I've kind of cut myself off. I don't really have anywhere to go. There's just a wall ahead of me. But I've been here before, and I kind of know the area. And I know that on the other side of this wall, there's like kind of a drop. So the wall from my side is maybe about a meter off the ground. Really not that high. It's like my waist height or something. But on the other side, there's like a 3 or 4 meter drop just onto it goes into like a little woodland area. I've jumped over this multiple times. All you have to do is like jump, sort of turn in the air, and then grab on the other side and hang and drop. You know, kind of like I did from the tree. And I was like, this is fine. I'll just jump over this. It'll slay the person chasing me, my friend, down quite a bit as well. So we'll be alright. However, what actually ended up happening was I jumped. Oh, hey, Gray. No. I actually need you to leave me alone. I jumped. Perfectly. I turned around. In the air. Perfectly. And then I just didn't grab on. I don't know what was going through my head. My brain just didn't compute. And I just didn't grab the thing that I was meant to grab. So what actually ended up happening was I kind of fell straight backwards. Hey Gray, can we just take a moment breather here while I tell my story? Thanks, man. I'm gonna die. You are way more geared than me. Also, I can't aim. Where was I? Shoot, I was at like the climax of the story. Basically, I fell straight backwards down like these 4 meters because I didn't grab on properly. And I was like, ouch. And I thought I'd really badly hurt myself. So I was like looking around. I was trying to work out how I'd hurt myself. And I couldn't find anything. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm fine. And then as I went to stand up, as I went to like get up, I saw my wrist. And if you're kind of squeamish, I wouldn't look at this. I'd look away now. But basically, my wrist looked like this. It was pretty gross. I was like, oh no. My wrist. Can I make this jump? Nope. My friend jumps down behind me, but he jumps down like properly because he's not a moron like me. And I'm like, dude, I need to go to the hospital. And he's like, what do you mean? And then he sees my wrist and he's like, dude, you need to go to the hospital. So we go back to where my parents are and I'm like, hey, I need to go to the hospital. And they're like, dude, you do need to go to the hospital. So we went to the hospital. Where's Gray? So we went to the hospital and signed in and everything. Well, I've been there before, so I pretty much just had to be like, give them my name. So it didn't take long. And I was waiting there, and then suddenly I was like, shoot, I'm kind of losing feeling in my fingers. And my mum's like, what the heck? And she went up to the like reception person and was like, hey, he's losing feeling in his fingers. And they're like, okay. I think I got fast tracked because like someone came through literally at that moment and was like, hey, we heard you have a problem. And I was like, yeah, I do have a problem. It's kind of a big problem. I can't feel my fingers. And they're like, ah, that's pretty uncool. It wasn't all my fingers. It was just my first, so my thumb, my pointer finger, and then my middle finger. So I could still feel like my pinky and ring finger at this point. And I was like, oh, it's fine. Well, it wasn't fine. I was like, shoot, I can't feel my fingers. But they were like, okay, let's give you an x-ray. So they gave me an x-ray and they're like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. And they were like, we're gonna inject you with some ketamine to knock you out. Ketamine's like a horse tranquilizer. And I don't know what to make of what they said, because are they calling me a horse? I don't know. Anyway, they gave me ketamine, knocked me out, and they kind of like pulled my wrist back into place. It was kind of like dislocated almost. You saw the picture. It was really gross. Anyway, they put it back into place, and they're like, hey, it's in a cast now. We're going to keep you here overnight and just make sure everything's fine, because obviously you couldn't feel your fingers, but we think that's just because a nerve was trapped because of the way your wrist had, like, moved. They thought it was, like, putting pressure on a nerve, which it was, but, yeah, they're the doctors. It was doing that. I don't know why I said they thought that. It definitely was doing that. Anyway. That's not the point. I stayed there overnight, and I don't know if you've ever slept in a hospital, but it kind of sucks, okay? It kind of sucks. Every, like, 2 hours, they had to wake up and check the feeling in my fingers to make sure I was still alive. No, to make sure I could still feel my fingers, which was kind of frustrating. And then they were, like, prepping me for surgery the next day, because they were like, okay, we looked at your x-ray, and we think we need to put, like, a steel plate in your wrist. And I was like, a what? In my where? And they're like, yeah, we need to put like a steel plate in your wrist. It's no biggie. I want to give a big shout out to Gray for doing nothing. They're definitely going to kill me in a second, but I mean, it's given me time to tell the story. So they prepped me for surgery and everything, and then later on, they were like, actually, we kind of want to give you another x-ray, because we think we screwed up the first one. And I was like, you what, the first one? You screwed up my x-ray? You were going to give me surgery and I didn't even need it? Are you okay? Are you insane? And they're like, yeah, it's no biggie. So we took another x-ray and they're like, yeah, no, we screwed up the first one. We think you're fine. We won't give you surgery or anything. And I was like, oh, I have no idea where this grey person is. I'm kind of scared. Hello? So I didn't end up having surgery. They sent me home later that afternoon and everything was fine. I went home and I was like, okay, cool. The feeling in my fingers was starting to come back and I was like, nice. So I went home. It was pretty cash money. Everything was going fine. The feeling in my fingers was coming back. And then, because it was summer and it was really hot, I think my wrist swelled a lot more than it usually would in the circumstances. And suddenly I couldn't feel my other 2 fingers. Instead of the first 3, I could feel those now. I just couldn't feel my little finger and my ring finger. And I was like, hey, this isn't right. So the next day we went back to A&E and we were like, hey, something's not right. And they were like, oh, shoot, let's have a look. So they loosened my cast slightly to lessen the pressure on my nerves, because, again, that's what was causing it all. Am I going to win? Oh, I won. Well, now I need to finish the story. What the heck? Okay, so I'm here in a 4v4 game because it's quicker and there's actually not much of the story left. So they loosened my cast to relieve the pressure. They kept me in overnight again just to keep an eye on it. But they weren't that worried, and I was getting feeling back a bit in my fingers, so they were like, okay, we've done the right thing. And they sent me home again the next day. Oh my gosh, my teammate was a legend. They sent me home again the next day, and that was about it. I went back a couple more times, one time to refit the cast, because basically when you first get there they give you some janky like emergency cast, which is a bit ugly and rubbish, and then they refit it, so they take off the old one and give you a new one. I don't know, the new one's like one you can sign and stuff. So I got some of my friends to sign my cast. Call me cringe, but whatever. And then I went back one more time after that to get the cast removed. And then I had to have a bunch of physio because obviously I hadn't used my wrist in like 2 months or whatever it was. So it was super skinny and weak, which was kind of sad. But yeah, I had physio for about 2 months, regained the strength in it, and yeah, here I am today. It's still a little bit stiff, but it's not broken, so I guess that's a win. Anyway, I need to win this game. GG. Nice. That's the video, guys. That's the story of how I broke my wrist by jumping over a wall, but just failing epically. I don't know, man. If you enjoyed, feel free to subscribe, and if you enjoyed this style of video, this sort of story time style of video, I have a couple more stories I could tell, so let me know in the comment section if you want to hear more. That'll do it for the video. Thanks for watching. Bye. I don't know, I'm just going to tell you about how I broke my wrist one time. I really stumbled there.